$250 billion worth of goods and 50 billion from our farmers, and it's a great deal for our country. It's about time somebody did that. And frankly, phase two will start negotiating. I did read one article, but I don't think that article was representative, certainly not in my conversations with President Xi. And they know where it came from. We all know where it came from.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yamiche Alcindor from PBS NewsHour. My first question is, you said that you don't take responsibility, but you did disband the White House Pandemic Office, and the officials that were working in that office left this administration abruptly. So what responsibility do you take to that? And the officials that worked in that office said that the White House lost valuable time because that office wasn't disbanded. What do you make of that?
Well, I just think it's a nasty question, because what we've done is, and Tony had said numerous times, that we've saved thousands of lives because of the quick closing. And when you say me, I didn't do it. We have a group of people. I could ask perhaps my administration, but I could perhaps ask Tony about that, because I don't know anything about it. I mean, you say we did that. I don't know anything about it.
You don't know
We're
about
spending,
about
I
the
don't know.
reorganization that happened at the National
It's the
Security
administration.
Council.
Perhaps they do that. You know, people let people go. You used to be with a different newspaper than you are now. You know, things like that happen.
But this was an order.
Please go ahead. We're doing a great job. Let me tell you, these professionals behind me, and these great, incredible doctors and business people, the best in the world, and I can say that, whether it's retailers or labs or anything you want to say, these are the best in the world. We're doing a great job. We have 40 people right now, 40. Compare that with other countries that have many, many times that amount. And one of the reasons we have 40 and others have, and again, that number's going up, just so you understand. And a number of cases, which are very small, relatively speaking, it's going up. But we've done a great job because we acted quickly, we acted early. And there's nothing we could have done that was better than closing our borders to highly infected areas. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Vanessa Yaklish for NTN24 for all Latin American countries,
Yes, sure.
and also for Spain, La Razón, and Antena 3. I would like to ask you two very brief questions. One, for how long we're going to have the emergency, the national emergency?
I hope not long, but it's there now, and it gives tremendous powers for things that we need. Tremendous power, actually. And the Stafford Act and various other things that we're involved with and have studied and memorized in so many different ways and forms. It gives the kind of power that we need to get rid of this virus. And we're going to do it very quickly. And I hope we won't need it very long, but whatever it takes.
So for now, we still don't know for how long. And something very important I wanted to ask you is, like, how do you really think it's essential coordinating with other countries and learning from their lessons that they already suffer the same situation? Countries, of course, like China and South Korea, but now recently Italy and Spain.
Well,
and how is that coordination done? Thank you so much,
We're in touch with Italy, and it's a country that we love. We have tremendous millions and millions of people, originally origins from Italy, and we're working with them. They're in they're in probably, relatively speaking, the toughest position of all. We're in touch with everybody. We're in touch with, when I say everybody, we're in touch with many of the countries that you know about, that you're writing about, and they're calling us asking for advice. They're asking for the advice of the people behind me. Italy's got a tough situation, but they're really they have really clamped down. I think they're going to see some very good results. It's tough what they did. They really took their medicine, but they're going to see some much better results. Yeah, Jeff?
Thank you, sir. With regard to domestic travel, should Americans feel safe, or should Americans at all be traveling to states such as Washington State, New York, and other hotspots within this country? And a follow-up on Brazil, you're asking people who come back from Europe, Americans who are coming back from Europe, to self-quarantine for a couple weeks. You were in a picture with somebody who now has coronavirus from Brazil at Mar-a-Lago. How is that different?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, I'm not coming back from someplace.
But you were exposed.
There was somebody that they say has it. I have no idea who he is, but I take pictures, and it lasts for literally seconds. I don't know the gentleman that we're talking about. I have no idea who he is. I haven't seen the picture. I said there's a picture of somebody, but I take sometimes hundreds of pictures a day. And that night I was taking hundreds of pictures, so I just don't know. Now, I did sit with the president for probably 2 hours, but he's tested negative, so that's good.
It's just a matter of,
Praise God.
and the
The bottom line is he was exposed, guys.
I would say if you stay home, it's not bad. It's not bad. Now, there are certain parts of the country that are essentially have zero problem. Washington's been very tough, in particular a nursing home. And but Washington, the state of Washington's been very tough. It's been a big percentage of, when you talk about the 40 deaths, it's been a big percentage of the deaths, as you know very well. And they all came from a certain area, unfortunately. Please, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Mr. President. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News. You talked this week about the UK doing a good job in tackling coronavirus. In light of the rise in cases, are you changing your mind about that? You also just spoke about possible travel restrictions. Have you discussed when they might be put in place?
Well, in light of the results, as we discussed before, in light of the results, we're going to be looking at it, and I know the task force is looking at it very strongly. Vice President, everybody. It was looking good, but the results have been building up pretty rapidly. So we'll be taking another look at that. Yes, absolutely. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, thank you. I want to first follow up on Jeff's question because the person you were standing next to, whether you know who he is or not, tested positive for coronavirus. Dr. Fauci said this morning, if you stand next to somebody who tested positive, you should self-isolate and get a test. You say your White House doctor is telling you something different. Who should Americans listen to? And my second question
I think they have to listen to their doctors. And I think they shouldn't be jumping to get the test unless it's necessary. But I think they have to listen to their doctors. And I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen the picture. Somebody said there's a picture with somebody taking a picture with me, but I haven't seen it.
The doctors have
But I
said you
can
might
tell
have
you-
it even if you don't have symptoms. Are
Well-
you being selfish by not getting tested and potentially
Well, I didn't say I
exposing-
wasn't going to be tested.
Are you going to be?
Most likely, yeah. Most
When do
likely.
you think
Not for
that'll
that
happen?
reason, but because I think I will do it anyway.
Will you let us know
Fairly
the
soon. We're
results?
working on that. We're working out a schedule.
My second question, Mr.
You go ahead,
President, that was
please.
a follow-up.
Go ahead. Yeah.
He's batting down the flies today,
I
guys.
know there's been a lot of talk about testing. I just want to make sure we're clear, though, because we've been hearing from doctors who say, as of today, they still can't get patients tested who need a test. So as of today, can everyone who a doctor wants to have tested get tested? And if not, when?
Well,
When
that's
will
been
doctors
true for a
really do it?
while, but I'll let Mike, why don't you answer that, Mike?
Well, as the president said, and Dr. Fauci has articulated, the nature of our current system where the CDC has samples sent and tests are performed, or state labs perform tests, or in some cases university and hospital labs perform tests, is generally adequate for an infectious disease or for people getting a diagnostic work done. But given the sheer scale of this, the president tasked us with bringing together this extraordinary public and private partnership. Today, by some estimates, when you add all the labs together, and today the president made it possible for every state in the country and their state labs to authorize labs across their state to do coronavirus testing. We're estimating somewhere between 15 and 20,000 tests a day are able to be performed. But very soon, with the program that was announced today, Americans will be able to visit one of the sites closest to them, as described on the website, if they're symptomatic, if the questionnaire indicates it, be able to have a test there, and these incredible companies will process the test and they'll receive that information. But for now, the best advice that we can give for people is to speak to their doctor, as the president just said. And if the doctor indicates that physician, if it's not a university, hospital, or otherwise authorized lab, can contact the state lab. And again, every state lab in the country can perform tests today. But what the president charged us with when I was tasked to take over the White House Coronavirus Task Force was open up tests all across the country. The president said a few days ago that we made it clear that any American that wanted to get a test would be able clinically to get a test. Because I literally heard from the governor of Washington State who said
Sorry.
the doctors in Washington State were saying that if you were only mildly symptomatic, they would not order a test. And fortunately, the president directed CDC to clarify that. Now, anyone in consultation with their physician, regardless of their symptoms, can request a test, and their doctors will contact those agencies, those labs in their state. But very soon, Americans will be able to go to these drive-in sites and be able to obtain.
We should have already had that, guys.
Dr. Burks, is there more to amplify that?
And they're not checking none of the
That's
deceased.
perfectly said. I think just to review once more time about the testing, with LabCorp and Quest, I think many of you have been to doctor's office and seen the little boxes outside.
Oh
What they
my
do
God.
is they deliver both the specimen collection piece, because remember it's a nasal swab. It's not a tube of blood. So they've delivered that to doctors' offices and hospitals, and then they will arrange to pick that up. The important piece in this all is they've gone from a machine that may have a lower throughput to the potential to have automated extraction. I know you don't want all these details, but it's really key for the laboratory people. It's an automated extraction of the RNA that then runs in an automated way on the machine with no one touching it, and the result comes out at the other end. So sample to machine to results. That cuts out a lot of the manual pieces that were happening that were delaying the test results.
And so with that, what's the timeline like from when you're tested to when you get results? Like next week, what should people expect?
Well, with the prior testing, it was taking several days because the test is slower. We believe with this test, because of its throughput, that the testing can be from start, remember it has to transport, to the laboratory that will run it. And then we're hoping that all can be finished within 24 hours, which is very similar to other tests that you received today. These are not point of care tests. We are working on point of care tests, but we have to realize point of care tests take 6 months or more to develop. So we're not waiting
my
for those.
God.
We're still diagnosing this
Sorry, guys.
on
The
nucleic
stalling.
acid. So it's an antibody. This is actually the antigen, the actual virus in your nose that we're amplifying.
Yeah, but they're less than
I think you
50%
have to
accurate.
remember, though, we're working very closely with states, and so you have a smaller form and more targeted form of government going in and doing it, like in New York, where the relationship is very good, like Gavin Newsom, where he made some very complimentary, that's California, he made some really complimentary comments the other day about how we're working together. We worked on the ship together, but we worked on a lot of other things together having to do with this. And we're really, the relationship that we have, I can't think of a bad relationship. We're helping them. We're funding them in some cases, depending on what it is you're talking about. And we're all working together very closely. So we've done really, I think, a tremendous job of teamwork with the different states. All right, one or two more. And if you have questions for these folks, does anybody have a question for the folks up here? Who has a question up here? You have? Okay, go ahead. If you have a question, go ahead.
Thank you. I have one for you as well.
I thought. I know
No,
you
but I do
will.
have one for them because I
was
haven't
waiting,
heard this
I was waiting
yet.
for that. Go ahead.
Because I haven't heard this yet.
Ask them first. Please.
Yes, I will. Okay, with regards to the CEOs, can you please tell us when you expect to see items like hand sanitizer that have been going out of stock very quickly back on the shelves? There have been a lot of reports about that. And for you, Mr. President, could you talk about a potential bailout for the cruise industry? You had suggested that could happen. Is that something you're still looking at, and how much would that be?
Well, I didn't suggest that it could happen, but I can tell you it's an industry that was very badly impacted by what's going on with the virus. And it's a great industry. It's a very important industry, and we will be helping them, and we will be helping the airline industry if we have to, assuming we have to. So far, people haven't been asking, but if they should be asking, we want to make sure our airline is very strong. And then one day, all of a sudden, wasn't looking so good. Interestingly, I was talking to Doug, and the numbers they're doing from the retailing standpoint, I guess because of this, your business is like the opposite. All of you you've been selling a lot of stuff. Do you want to answer the question as to the hand sanitizer?
What about the common people and the man left behind? Remember the men left behind? You and I.
Paper goods in particular. hand sanitizer is going to be very difficult to have 100% in stock on for some time. We're still replenishing it and shipping it, but as soon as it hits the stores, it's go. The same thing's true for the categories I just mentioned. So all the retailers will be working hand in hand with the suppliers to bring that to the market as fast as we can.
What is your advice, though, for Americans who are seeking those items? What is your advice? They're selling out online, they're selling out in the stores.
I think this team has given you other examples of what people can do to fight back against this virus, and you should look at the entire list.
Dr. Fauci,
Please.
I mean, obviously it sounds very simplistic, but wash your hands as often as you possibly can. And I know you're not always in a position to be able to wash your hands, but wash them as much as you can. If you don't have the alcohol wipes, try and get them. If you can't get them, just try as best as possible to do it. I mean, you got to do the best you can.
Well, just general preparedness. You know, you want to wash your hands. You want to keep distance from people. And if you're around someone sick, just keep away from them. This is basic public health. Now, these guys are selling a lot of toilet paper. I don't know. Tony, do you need to give some guidance that toilet paper is not an effective protection against getting the coronavirus? They're selling out. But the soap and water, hot water, soap, 20 seconds. That's how you do it.
These guys aren't out of anything, I guarantee you guys.
Behind you. Behind you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. You have a great team, of course.
That's true.
My question is, Mr. President, are you happy from the Chinese response? What correctly really told you what really happened those days? And second, Prime Minister Modi or India have closed borders until April 15th, if you have spoken with the Prime Minister of India and if they have needed any help. And finally, sir, any message for the small businesses because they are losing some businesses because of this? Thank you, sir.
Well, on small businesses, the Small Business Administration is now stacked with money to help them, and we're going to make the money readily available if they need it, small businesses. We had a great time in India. It was an incredible 2 days, and he's a great friend of mine, and he's a friend of his people because he was greeted incredibly warmly, as was I, in that stadium. It was an incredible event, and I loved being with him, so just say hello to him. But we talked about everything. We talked about far more than just borders. And as far as President Xi, likewise, he's a friend of mine. I believe that we are dealing in good faith, that we just worked as you know, as I just said, we just worked an incredible deal, big deal, one of the biggest deals ever made of any kind. Big even by the standards of some of the people here, the deal with China. But I think that we want to get to the bottom of things also. We're working, our drug companies, our pharmaceutical companies are working very closely with China and with India, as you know, and with all over the world. And they're all over the world. These are magnificent companies that are very, very knowledgeable. And we're very lucky to have them because I think you're going to come up with, whether it's therapeutic or whether it's just helping getting better, and then ultimately a vaccine, which takes a little bit longer because of the test periods and a couple of other reasons. You're going to have it very quickly because of the great knowledge, and they'll have it very quickly. They've made a tremendous amount of progress. Thank you all very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
With that, this is healthcare sucks. Yeah, that's the saddest healthcare suck you're ever gonna see. I know I'm in the dark. I might scare you right now because I've been sick a little bit. And don't worry, guys, I'll be okay. Team 99, Team 99, we're good. I got some antibiotics too. I got a great doctor. So he's not one of those hokey dokey anti-give out med pukes. Oh, I'm pretty straightforward today, huh? I love you all. I want you to stay safe. I want you to go get prepared. If you do have the money, again, go buy some supplies. I know all my 99er, all of us Team 99 people that have been watching and that are smart. We are ahead of the curve. So I know we've all went and got some stuff. However, I would suggest when you can, get some more. As we've discussed in the last few videos, excuse my voice, I apologize. The thing I told you guys about pulling my kids out, well, now it's official. The kids are being pulled out in Oregon. So, again, we're ahead of the curve. That's good to be ahead of the curve, guys. That's going to keep us alive. And don't fear. Be prepared. Serious. Pray when you can. Right now, even. Hey, oh Heavenly Father, bless us and all the Team 99 and Marfugals out there. Love y'all. Give us the armor and the shields to protect us from the Wuhan 19 and whatever may come. Amen. There's a little prayer for us all. We need it. As we go on in the next few days to weeks, things are going to get kind of tough on everybody. So you're going to have to toughen up. There's not going to be a bunch of those soft room, safe place, safe spot things that the colleges had, because the USA is no longer a safe place. Your grocery store is not a safe place. Hell, after I go to the bathroom, sometimes it's not a safe place. Sorry. Bad number 2. One more bad and I'm out. I'm 86. Honestly, the reason I'm giving you guys this talk, this pep talk, is because at times you may lose hope, or you may get sad, or you might think, when's this thing going to end? Because it hasn't even really begun, guys. But be tough. As long as I'm able to go on air and they haven't cut me off, as long as the internet's going, I'll be doing these videos, even if I have to do them out of a bed. If I was to get that sick, which I don't plan to. I'm a tough old bird. I get up and I fight. Because if you don't get up every day and make the fight, it'll get you. And this is for all my elderly watchers. Don't climb into that bed and stay there, guys. Because when you climb into that bed and stay there, you don't get your butt up, you're toast and you die. Flat out. Watched a lot of my friends and family do it over the years. And I don't want none of you doing that. Climbing into bed and staying there crap. You get your butts up. Even if it's in a wheelchair, even if it's in your comfortable little fat chair you plop into and watch TV, that's okay. You got up. Or go to the kitchen, make some food, and come back. Go, if it's decent outside, go for a little walk. Because I do care about you guys. Oh man, we're gonna make this. I do want everybody, honestly, I can't stress how much, to just get what you can. Do call your doctors. My doctor called again today. I'm trying to get back in touch, but they're busy as heck. To see about 3 months worth, if the insurance company will pay again. They probably won't. They already told me once they wouldn't. But there might be a way for us to stipulate that. Now, if we had a good governors and good House and good Senate and a good president, not to knock on him either. I didn't catch the first part of the speech. I apologize. I came in late on that. But I think that if we did, or if they listened to us, I know you guys, some of you are making calls. And I didn't hear anything about that either, covering the poor man or covering we're that missing guy thing, that they always, the man left behind. That's us. Where is our little credit cards to order stuff once we're quarantined or we're sick? Technically, I'm probably at that point to where I should take a week. You heard on my videos last couple of days, if you're ill, stay home at least a week. So where's my credit card, from the government? Yeah, I need it. I want somebody to bring me some Amazon foods or some food, damn it. Some food. I'm starving. I'm wilting away here. No. The joke if you watch my videos, guys. I eat. So with that, the other thing to ask them is postponement of all debts. I can't make it how serious and how this needs to be addressed. All debts. Period, to everybody right now. Credit cards, house payments, you name it. And to keep our credit status, it has to be put in the rule when they make it. And all rents to be postponed and paid definitely, if you get sick and you have to stay home or you get quarantined, you get everything I just mentioned. And we need to keep pushing these guys. So if you feel up to it, oh, the other part is if they'll answer the phone. Because I've tried. In Oregon, they don't answer the phone. Wyden's office won't. Fearless leader Kate Brown won't answer the phone. She loves being in front of the mics and talking. She always has been, thinking she's an all-star. Not to get down on her, but I wish she'd do more for the people, the Oregonian people. I really do. And that's her chance. So we'll see. I'm not impressed so far. She's way behind the curve, as is the president, unfortunately, and a bunch of these people, and they keep tapping it down, guys. I don't think they realize it's too late for the stock market. It's already toast. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to drink some Pepsi, and take some medicine, and I'll be back at you. I'm going to see what's going on out there. I'm up and motivating now after a slow start this morning. If you watch my videos, I was up at 4 or 5 o'clock still doing stuff. I love you all. Stay safe, and please do, just if you can, I can't stress this enough, just buy what you can and what you feel you need. And then you can always rotate it if this thing turns out to not be the monster from hell, the Wuhan monster from hell. We will see. And as always, we use the fair. I can't even have to look over there. Always Fair Use Act. And nothing you see is ever real. The president wasn't on TV and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we all know different. We're living it. That's the thing right now, guys, is all the years ago, they used to call it fake. They even did a Mel Gibson movie about it. About, things weren't real. I can't even think of the word, guys. I'm tired right now. I'm a little bit sick, but I'll be okay. So I'm going to let you go before I say my third joke, and then I'll be 86th. And I won't get to see you no more because you guys will go, "You're fired, healthcare. You suck." But you don't, because you're Team 99. You guys are awesome. We love you, man. Take care. And healthcare sucks. That was kind of a weenie one. I'll get back to the old healthcare real quick. Love, peace, goodbye. And I'll be in the spotlight so you can see my cute little face later on. If you think I have a cute little face. Wink, wink. I'm gone. Later.